So day 2 of multiplying our fractions. We talked about last time how our friend cross division allows us to simplify at a much earlier stage of the game, lets us deal with smaller numbers, which are certainly much nicer than dealing with the much larger numbers that we're working with. So we'll do a little bit more of that here at the beginning, but then we're also going to break out our mixed numbers and what to do when multiplying with mixed numbers. And remember, your mixed number is simply a fraction that also has a whole number with it. All right, so let's throw one at you here. Let's see what you remember as we talk our way through it. Let's go after someone like 8/9. And let's go ahead and multiply that times someone like 12. And let's use 20ths there. All right. Hit the pause button. All right. Otherwise, let's go through it. So multiplying with fractions, the first thing I was looking for is cross division. So I'm looking on those diagonals to see if I can simplify anywhere. And I'm looking at that 8 and I'm looking at that 20. And I'm thinking, who can I divide by? Well, I can divide by 2. All right, but there is someone bigger that's there. All right, I could divide by a 4 as well. Now, I'm going to divide by the 2 here just to show you what's going to end up happening when I don't grab the largest numbers. It's not a big deal. We just got to make sure we're simplifying at the end. So dividing both of them by 2, 8 divided by 2 is a 4, 20 divided by 2 is a 10. Now, you may recognize there's more cross division there again, and do cross division again with the 4 and the 10. You can double dip like that, no worries. Let's look at the 9 and the 12. All right, here we can divide them both by 3. And kind of the key thing here is, if you're like, wow, those are large numbers. If I just multiply across right now, that's kind of your hint that there's more cross division. So let's divide by 3. Well, 9 divided by 3 is 3. Let's divide by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. All right, so I can multiply across now. I get 16. I've got 30. And then I realize they're both even numbers. And because they're both even numbers, hey, let's divide by 2. So there's my 8. Chop 30 in half. Hey, let's get 15. That's there. Got a winning answer of 8/15. Now, again, it just kind of shows you I was dividing by 2 with the 16 and the 30, or I could have been dividing by 2 with that 4 and 10. If I did my cross division there again, I could divide by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now look, 2 times 4, there's my 8. 3 times 5, there's my 15. So again, it's to your benefit to grab the cross division because those are going to be your smaller numbers. But if you don't see it, you got to kind of multiply across. But just realize, man, if you got large numbers, more than likely you've missed something that's there. All right, so let's bring out our mixed numbers. So let's go after someone like 3 and 2/3. And let's multiply that. We're going to use that dot for multiplication, all right? It is like a decimal, but it's larger and pushed up higher up in the air. And let's multiply it by someone like 2, all right? And I don't know, how about someone like 6 6/7, all right? So what we're looking to do here first is get our improper fractions. So the algorithm technique says, hey, we're going to multiply, and then we're going to add. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. There's your 11/3. And the idea behind this is you've got thirds you're working with. But if you've got 3 of them, technically that means you've got 3/3, another 3/3, another 3/3, all right? And again, a whole, a whole, a whole. There's my 3 wholes, and there's my 2/3 that eventually we need. So I've got common denominators, and what we realize is this is just repeat addition. Well, repeat addition is who in disguise? Yes, multiplication. So that's why it's a lot easier, a lot faster just to multiply and add, because we know that's what's going to end up happening. But there's the idea. 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9, plus 2, there's my 11, so there's my 11/3. This allows me just to speed up the process. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 6 is 20. So we've got 27ths that's there. And now we're multiplying. So what we're looking for here is, do you see any cross division? I'm looking at the 11 and the 7. Nope. All right, I'm looking at the 3 and the 7. I'm just going to be the 3 and the 20. Nope. All right, so we're just multiplying across here. 220, and then 7 times 3 is 21. All right. Yeah, we can simplify it. It's not that bad of a deal with this particular problem because 10 is going to be our fan here. We can take exactly 10 groups out. So what's 10 times 21? Well, let's go back from earlier. 10 times 21. Well, 21 times 1 is 21. Add that 0, so it's 210. So I'm able to take 10 groups out. I'm at 210. And how many pieces are left over? Well, I'm trying to get to 220. Oh, so that's 10 pieces that are left over. And I was trying to put them in groups of 21. And there we go. Now, typically we don't see large ones like that, but again, it's something to be aware of as we kind of go through our process. So let's look at another one here. Let's look at someone like 2.5, and let's multiply that by 2. All right. And, oh, I don't know. How about 2/5? All right. Okay, so here we go. Improper fractions first. Pause if you think you can do this. Otherwise, keep it going with me. 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 is 5, so I've got a 5 halves. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, so I've got 12/5. We always just keep that denominator that's there. All right, so now that I've done my improper fractions, we're looking for our cross division, and oh my goodness, is it everywhere. Check out the 5s. We can divide them both by 5. So divide them by 5, we're going to get ourselves some 1s. Check out the 2 and the 12. We can divide both of them by 2. So 2 divided by 2, 1. 12 divided by 2, 6. Let's multiply across. Hey, 6 1s. Well, what is 6 1s? Well, that is 6 wholes that we're looking at here. So again, a lot of the same routine that we're looking at here of our cross division here. We just have to add on that extra layer of that improper fraction that we're dealing with. So let's sneak one more in here and see what you can do. Let's try someone like 3 1/3. And let's multiply it by 1 1/2. All right, hit that pause button. Let's see it. All right, so improper fractions first. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 1, 10. So I've got my 10/3. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. So I've got my 3/2. I'm looking for cross division, and I see it. Very similar to the previous problem. I can divide both of these by 3. So when I divide by 3, I'm going to get 1s. And then the 10 and the 2, well, I can divide them both by 2. So there's my 1, and 10 divided by 2 is my 5. So I can just multiply straight across. 5 1s, hey, that's the same as 5 wholes that we've got. All right, so again, improper fractions, cross division. All right, tomorrow we'll bring it all together so you can practice with them.